Awesome. Thanks, Kelton. Thanks for introducing GraphQL. Hey, everyone. My name is Tyson Louth. I'm a front-end developer here at Commerce7. I'm here today to introduce admin UI tools. So you might be wondering, what are admin UI tools? Commerce7 admin UI is a set of production-ready front-end components that will help developers build applications fast. These components are designed to be used inside of Commerce7 apps and extensions, but they can be used on any website. They will work across all modern browsers and operating systems. These are the same components we use inside of Commerce7 admin. We'll take care of the testing, development, and maintenance of these components. Our admin UI tools are free and already available for use through NPM. Why should you use our admin UI tools? If you're building applications inside of Commerce7, it's crucial to keep a consistent UI with the rest of the admin panel. Our UI components will create cohesiveness between your app and the admin panel when it comes to colors, layout, and spacing. Our admin UI tools will also ensure consistent font sizes and page layouts. It's very difficult to copy UI components from our admin panel and apply them into your own application. Our goal with this UI library is to eliminate this step for app developers. By using our admin UI tools, app developers can also greatly reduce the time needed in the design stage. Similar to UI, it's important to keep a consistent UX flow within Commerce7. Our goal is to provide app developers the ability to create embedded applications without having to spend time mocking UX inside Commerce7. Our admin UI tools will provide the same transitions, animations, and workflows to create the easiest possible UX for end users. At Commerce7, we strive to move fast when it comes to UI changes. Because our admin UI tools are available on NPM, we're able to constantly iterate and improve. We'll be continuously adding new components, modules, and improving existing components. As changes are made to React and JavaScript, we'll ensure these admin UI tools stay updated to the latest spec. Accessibility is one of the most important aspects of front-end development. Our admin UI tools will strive to achieve the highest level of accessibility, including color and contrast, alternative text, and proper focus control. And finally, these are the same components we use inside Commerce7. You can trust that we've taken the steps to test and ensure we're getting the most out of each component. So the tech stack behind Commerce7 admin tools. The admin UI tools are built with React, a JavaScript library built and maintained by Facebook. At Commerce7, we use React on all of our front-end applications and websites. React is fast and easy to get started on, which makes it the ideal candidate for a UI package. All of the CSS inside of our admin UI tools is handled by styled components. By using styled components, we can easily handle theming. Styled components also create unique class names for elements, ensuring that our admin UI tools will not clash with other elements you have inside your application. One of the most exciting features of our admin UI tools is the ability to allow users to toggle theme based on their preference. Our default theme, which is currently active inside of Commerce7, is light mode. Over the past few months, we've been working at bringing dark mode into the admin panel. Dark mode has exploded in popularity in the past several years on the web for a couple of reasons. One, it makes for easier reading, especially late at night, and it can also save battery life, especially on mobile devices. With our admin UI tools, you'll be able to easily toggle between dark and light mode. If you're building an application inside of Commerce7, we'll also make the active global theme available to you so you can easily handle dark and light mode without any extra hassle. Our documentation and playground is built using Storybook. Storybook is a front-end documentation tool that allows you to play around with components before using them inside of your application. So the documentation for our admin UI is admin-ui-docs.commerce7.com. So we'll head over and check out some of our documentation here in Storybook. So you can see on the homepage here, we have some setup information for the admin UI tools, installation info via NPM, how to include the proper fonts within your application, some setup info and how to wrap your application with Commerce7 admin UI, and some basic usage info. This will also be the spot in the future to come for new products, new components, breaking changes, and other new info regarding admin UI. On the left side of our Storybook here, we have a list of all of our components. This list will continue to grow over time. These components are also searchable up here, which is super helpful. You can see at the top here also the current release version for Commerce7 Admin UI. So our components are broken into 4 categories right now: button, form, UI, and data. In the future, we'll have some more categories here, such as typography, filters, layouts, and some more advanced features. Within each nav item, the components are broken into multiple stories. So if you want to come in and see how a button looks and feels, you can check out a basic button in both light and dark mode. If you want to take a look at the different variants within a button, you can see all of the different variants we have in both modes, and some other properties like a disabled button or a loading button. For some of the other components, say like an input, you can come in, see how an input looks and feels, and then see some other properties of an input and how they act. So if you want to see how to add an error message to your input, this is an example here, requiring an input and some other input types like password or email. And all these are also available to see in dark mode. Some other cool things we have here is we have an icon library within Commerce7 Admin UI, which is searchable here. Currently, we have about 70 icons inside of this. This list will grow to over 100 within probably the next couple of weeks. So in Storybook, we can see a list at the bottom on the controls tab here of all of the props available for each component. So if I'm looking at the button here, these are all of the available props. Anything extra you add will be ignored. So on the left column, we have the prop name and whether it's required or not. The second column is a description of the prop and also either the type of the prop or the allowed values. The third column is the default value for each prop, which apply to some props. So the coolest part about Storybook is if we head over to the Docs tab here. So if I'm using a button and I want to look at an example of how to change a variant, I can come in here and see the exact code of how to do it. If I want to figure out how to set a button to be loading, I can come in here and see a loading prop. This is also useful on an input. If I want to add an error message, I can come find the error message component here and see that error message is passed in as a string. In the coming weeks, we'll be adding a code playground into here so that you could live edit these components and see the changes right inside of Storybook without ever having to leave. So again, those docs are available at admin-ui-docs.commerce7.com. So what does the future look like for admin UI tools? One of the core values of Commerce7 is incremental improvement. We'll be constantly releasing new components and improving existing ones. Our initial focus has been building individual components like form inputs, buttons, and tables. In the coming months, our focus will shift to page layouts, navigation, and some more advanced components like filters. Initially, Commerce7 Admin UI tools will only be available as a React package. In the future, we plan to release a CSS-only framework. This will allow for development across any front-end technology, including Vue and Angular. So again, if you want to check out the documentation, it's available at admin-ui-docs.commerce7.com. Thanks for listening to my intro about admin UI tools. Feel free to send me an email if you have any questions, Tyson@commerce7.com, or I'm available on the partner Slack channel. Thanks.
Hey, thanks, Tyson. So I've personally got to play around with this lately when I built a piece in the admin panel. It's been fun. You've converted, tell us what you've converted in the admin panel over to these new UI tools.
Yeah, sure. So we are using, if I go back to Storybook, so far we're actually using every single component that you see here in Storybook. And our admin panel is pretty much fully moved over to all of these components. So any date picker you see inside of the admin panel is using Commerce7 UI, all of the tables, tags, icons, of course, all the form elements. So we're making some good progress there.
A couple of questions. You did answer one already, but I'll just reiterate it. So a question from the audience is just confirming that the library is only good if we use React. Currently,
yes, it's only available if you use React. But like I mentioned at the end, we do eventually plan to release a CSS-only framework, which will be a little bit limited compared to the React package as far as some components go, but for the most part, will be pretty well-rounded.
So the future is a CSS framework similar to Bootstrap or React,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So those are the two options. Another question, will the new dark mode respect system preferences with preference color scheme?
So the our admin panel currently does do that by default, and we will pass in how the admin panel is set currently. If you're using these tools outside of the admin panel, you have the ability to toggle it manually. So the wrapper
not
around
turned dark mode on for anybody other than a few people.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so Michael, just to answer that, the way the admin works is it first goes to system preferences, then people have the option to toggle it, and we will pass that down to you. But we have not turned on dark mode because we've not got every area converted over in our admin yet.
That's on the roadmap for this year for sure.
If anyone wants dark mode turned on, we have enabled it for Pablo and a few people. You could just put us in Slack and we will turn that on for you. It's just a feature flag.